Okay. Hello. The guest today is Debra Stern, class of '87. She is the founder of a charter school up in Westchester, New York. Hello, Debra. What is a charter school?
Okay, well, first of all, Tony, welcome to Amani Public Charter School. I'm glad that you were able to come and do your podcast in our Digital Creator Lab. So this is a space that we've created for our students, but we can talk about it more. But a charter school is a public school like any other public school in New York State. It's just that the Board of Regents gives you a charter to be able to run a school in your community. So 15 years ago, myself, along with my husband, Charlie Stern, got together with a bunch of folks here at Mount Vernon to create this school that would give families in Mount Vernon a choice for a middle school. So this is a middle school, like if you go back to your middle school life, that's when you first started to have individual classes. And so we have our students coming in 5th grade, and they have math, ELA, social studies, science. We have art, physical education. We have electives, and so it's very much like a middle school, like you remember it being.
Gotcha.
And then next year we're going to expand and add elementary grades.
Oh wow!
So we're going to run 2 sort of different programs. So we'll have our middle school, which continue the way it is, and then we're going to start kindergartners and first graders. So that'll be more traditional elementary school.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So that way you won't be able to pick the classes like you would in middle school.
No, elementary will be a lot different.
You have one classroom, one teacher. Gotcha. So it'll expand from 300 some students to 600 some students.
No, when we're fully enrolled from K through 8, we'll have 544 students.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, that's great then. So then the elementary school students can also feed into the middle school.
They will absolutely feed into So it'll be one big K-8 happy family.
Gotcha.
We have other electives, like we have a chess program that's actually run by a Cornellian. His name is Amir. It's a program called Rookley. Do you know Amir?
Oh, really? Oh,
I don't remember Amir's last name right now, but he's like class of chess. 23.
Okay.
He created an online chess program. That teaches class, and then there's a league. You should actually meet him. He's a Cornellian.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah,
yeah, I love that. I love chess.
I'll make that connection for you.
I played a lot of chess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's really interesting. So you got the electives and you got the core classes. And you said that the measurement, they would have the regent, they would have an exam.
Well,
they would have to take the exam.
In New York State schools, K through 8, participate in the. There's a performance framework that's set up by the state to say, Debra, we're going to give you this charter. There's certain things that you have to do.
Makes sense.
And one of them is, everybody participates in the New York State exams, which are a way to measure sort of the academic progress of a school over time. So, and you grew up in D.C., right?
Yeah,
so I don't know what they have. Everybody has some kind of. You probably took some.
Yeah, we had a lot of exams and tests, scantrons.
Yeah, exactly.
So you would test whether
we do all of that.
Gotcha. So typically your students, like when they first come into Amani and when they leave Amani, you see like improvement in the test score.
Yeah, we see, and it's important for us to look at like student growth over time from when they come in to when they leave, and then also, we want to, look in. Did they get a chance to participate in a sports team? Did they get a chance to do some kind of after school? Did they do an elective?
Gotcha. So it's more holistic than just like whether the grades improve, but whether they. Interesting. That makes sense. And then, the interactions mostly the students would have during their day will be with their teachers. Like, how do you make sure that the teachers are able to follow the mission as well of equity and opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, we have one of the things that we're lucky at Amani. We have a really great teaching staff. A lot of people have been with us for a long time, which is it's good. And then you always kind of get new teachers in and out. So, but we when you become a teacher at Amani, we do a lot of professional development and support. For teachers. So for instance, when any teachers come in, we come back to school in August and have like a whole week of just like. PD, professional development, everything. And so ridiculously great teaching is one of our values.
Ridiculously great teaching.
That is like the main job for the for the provost principal person to support the teachers in that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when you first started the school, did you start off with 300? Did you start off with a group of teachers already?
Yeah.
How did you...
When we first started school, we literally started the school in the 3rd floor of our house.
Oh, really?
And then we started the school. The way that charter schools work is that you build 1 grade per year. So we started with 5th graders.
Oh, interesting. And they would go
and then
into
build over, and then do it. Yeah. So those early
Oh,
years was a lot of hiring new people and bringing new people into the community.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. So we started with 90 kids, 90 students, and maybe like 5 employees. I don't even remember. 15 years ago.
Okay.
And then you just add every year.
It's amazing.
More kids, more people, more kids, more people. Yeah. And we've only been in this building since 2013.
Oh, wow.
We started in the basement of a local church.
Okay, wow.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so interesting. So at that time, it was just a couple teachers and 90 students. And then, wow, how were you able to attract those 90 students at the beginning?
So,
did you know a lot of students coming into this already?
No, you just, really getting out in the community, meeting people, like going to events and functions in the community, going out, handing out flyers. Just really very basic community organizing.
Did you consider other cities at the beginning, or did you like Mount Vernon?
No, I did not, because my goal, my interest, my reason for doing this is to build a community-based charter school in this community. I think, like I mentioned, I work professionally in higher education administration. I worked at Barnard Columbia University for many years. And then right before I started charter school, I stayed at home. I was a mother and I was raising my family. And so I am now a charter school operator, but 15 years ago, I wasn't burning desire to be a charter school operator. But I had a burning desire to try to make a difference in the educational landscape for Mount Vernon.
Gotcha. Yeah. So did you grow up in Mount Vernon?
I grew up in New Rochelle, which is the town next door.
Gotcha.
And then and then we lived in Mount Vernon. We were raising our family here.
Gotcha. So you always felt that the community was... interesting. So you lived in Mount Vernon for...
So we lived in Mount Vernon for, I think, about... So we lived in Mount Vernon for like 10 years, and then we moved to a community next door.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So in those 10 years, you saw the community.
I've lived in this triangle of Westchester all my life.
New Rochelle and then Mount Vernon. Gotcha. That's really interesting. So how did you get to this spot? Did you study IR at Cornell?
I did study ILR at Cornell. Yeah, how did I get to the spot of being a charter school operator? Not from the studying things I studied. Even though I use those skills all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I write grants a lot, so I became a good writer from my experiences. Cornell. Understanding how people work, because I run an organization that has 50 adult people that work here. Got those skills from ILR school.
Got you teacher as well.
So, but I did not. So, like I said, my sort of becoming a charter school operator is more based on kind of my experiences I had as a community organizer and just that sort of thing. Not necessarily, And then I bring in the professionals, like the principals that know and teachers that run that piece of the school.
Oh, that's so interesting. What kind of advocacy did you do when you were at Cornell then?
So student leadership? So when I was at Cornell, I was an RA.
Okay, RA. Well, that's very important.
I did orientation.
Okay, for new students coming in?
Yeah, I did new student orientation. I did student government.
Okay.
I did the senior class gift. I was chair of that.
Okay.
I did so much. I think things I don't even remember.
What were the main areas that you focus? What areas of policies you focus on? Was it more on the equity and the opportunity side? Yeah.
I think I was mainly student orientation, student affairs, that sort of stuff. I did student government, and so when I graduated, I was president of my class.
Oh wow! Okay.
And then
class of '87 president.
Class of '87 president.
Wow.
When I graduated, I was the first president, and then I've been involved with the class for almost 30, 40 years. And now I'm chair of the Cornell University Council.
Wow, okay. So how did you, what platform did you run on when you became president of your class in 1987?
I don't know. It was 100 years ago, Tony. I don't remember. You'd have to ask my classmates. I'll ask them what platform. I mean, I think it's just, it was 100 years ago. I think just being an engaged alumni, but I don't think I would have articulated that way at the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But in the same way, you still are very connected with Cornell. Well, why do you do that?
Oh, Cornell's the most wonderful place in the world. Most wonderful people.
So, yeah. So kind of similar.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So after you graduated, you were more very active as an alumni as well, and you were part of the council.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that I guess the Cornell Council is like your higher education part then. So
Yes.
You still have your fingers in
that
the
lets
higher
me,
education part.
that's absolutely true.
So what kind of goals do you have with the Cornell University Council then?
So my goals, my sort of vision for the council is the 3 C's: connecting with each other, connecting with Cornell, and connecting with students. So over my 2-year, so you're on the council. I've been on the council for a lot of years, but I've been the chair for 2 years. So I'm going to be going into my 2nd year coming up. So last year, my 1st year. Yeah. So, I just really want to kind of strengthen the connection that the alumni have with the university and think about ways that we can be good ambassadors for Cornell as members of council.
So that's a connecting part as well. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then as far as like the skills wise, for the executive director, you have to write grants, you have to meet the local.
I have to, groups. I had to be really good at writing grants. I had to be very good at sort of fundraising.
Fundraising.
Yeah.
What is that like? Is it fundraising like phone calls, or is it fundraising?
Making phone calls, meeting people, planning events.
Gotcha.
Understanding and sharing the story of Amani out in the world.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like a school like Cornell, there's a lot of alumni who donate back to Cornell. Like for Amani, what are the target donor bases usually?
So really, the target donor base is finding people who want to support education. And charter school education also. Right now, I would love to find somebody who wants their name on a building. I'm willing, yes, but if somebody wanted to give me $20 million, I'd put their name on this building.
That'd be great.
So, so somebody who might be interested in just creating a legacy for themselves.
I love that.
Yeah.
Are there like different rooms, like the podcast room?
Yeah, exactly.
Music room?
So, I mean, I think that people are, there are people out there who want to support our programs like we have here at Amani. So, for instance, I just secured a really beautiful donation from an alumni friend of mine to support our arts program.
That's super.
So,
is that the one I attended with the performing arts one?
Yeah, you came to the gala, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, like people from like the Broadway shows come to perform.
Yeah.
Yes, that was one of them.
So I secured a donation from Jennifer and Tony Anthony Avellino. They're Cornellians.
Wow.
To help us to support our arts program, so we could have an arts program for our students over time. Yeah,
interesting. So is it like one of those endowment models where you build up an endowment over time and that continuously funds it?
Exactly. So I'm working on building up the endowment. Not close to the $5 billion that Cornell has, but you have 1/100th of that.
Well, over time it'll grow.
That's the goal.
And that'll make sure to keep the school running over long periods of time. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's really fascinating. I love how the school is part of like the community too. I think that's really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Super. And for the closing question, I always ask, what is the kindest thing that someone's ever done for you? The kindest thing.
The kindest thing that anybody's ever done to you?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of kindness in my world. I'm very lucky. So, I don't know. That's a good question, Tony. Nobody's ever asked me a question like that before. I'm going to use my good social worker skills to say, what's the kindest thing anybody's ever done for you?
When I got into Cornell, I think that was very, very kind. Felt a lot more included. There was a lot more, as an immigrant coming to America. It was, the Cornell really brought it together. It made me feel like I have deep roots.
Yeah, that's nice. I would say, actually, it's funny. Like, one of the kindest things anybody had done for me was asking me to be on the Cornell University Council. I think that was like a really kindness that really can going to like sort of creating and strengthening your roots with the university. So because that's been a great experience for me. So or like even the Avellino family recognizing the good work that we do here at Amani and wanting to help to fund our arts program. That was pretty kind.
That's very kind.
Yeah. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you could come and visit today.
This is magnificent.
Come to our Digital Creator Lab.
Yeah.
You're actually our first. No, you're our second interview.
Can we do like a spin around, like show all the lights and everything?
I think. Yeah, I don't know how the spin around works. So, but
it was really good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Very quiet, very peaceful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Good.
Thanks so much.